Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cabinet Vision Guy. In today's episode, we're going to be continuing our series on JavaScript, and again we're going to take a look at the new dimensions that we can include with our JavaScript UCS. In the first episode, we covered adding some simple dimensions, and I'll just enable these to our elevation view for our assembly, and a few of the different properties that we can actually control when we're providing a dimension as well. Things like the line width, whether we want a box around the dimension or whether we want to show the dimension at all. Now, the same properties can be set for the dimensions that we're going to be looking at today, but we're going to be purely looking at the different dimension styles that we can create. So to start us off, I'm just going to show you a couple of different examples of what I mean. So I'm going to disable the simple dimensions that we've got on our assembly, and then I'm going to add in some different dimensions. So I'm going to add the aligned dimension to start with, and this is for measuring the diagonal distance across the assembly. I'm going to add in an angular dimension, which is just measuring the angle at the bottom left of the assembly. We've got an internal dimension as well, which is measuring the case opening or the first case opening of the assembly. And then on this assembly, I'll just enable the radius dimension to give you an idea of what that looks like. So again, this is measuring the radius across the top right hand side of the assembly. Now, if I nip into the help file real quick, I'll show you a section which is going to make your life a lot easier. If we have a look, we've got a section for the general CAD dimensioning in here that we can do manually when we go into CAD, and the same principles apply and the same explanations as well. So we've got the simple dimension, and this appears exactly where we draw the line. So when we're programming this through JavaScript, where we essentially add the start and end points, we'll have the dimension. Then we've got a linear, which is horizontal or vertical. We've got aligned, which is the diagonal. We've got internal, which is for the internal of the assembly. And then we've got things like radius and diameter and angular as well in here. So again, worth having a look in the help file first. We've also obviously got a section for JavaScript. So if you go to JavaScript CAD objects, you'll see all the different properties that can be set for the different CAD objects. And we've also got the dimensions section in here as well for the properties of the dimension. So back to our job, and I'm going to head into our UCS and just take a look at the code. If you haven't seen the first episode yet, I'd advise you go and watch through that, because we're not going to go through the same code again. So I'm going to start off just down here where we come to add our align dimension. So the first thing that we do in this section is we create the dimension itself. So we do aligned dim, which is just the name I've given to the variable, and we're letting this equals CV system or underscore CV system dot create object, and then we've got CV dimension again. And then in the next section, we've just got a quick if check to make sure that it's not null. And then we're setting some of the properties of the dimension in here. So we're setting the style, we're setting the color, we're also specifying a text height, and we're also specifying that we want the text to show, and we're setting bold to false. We've got a clearance in here for the text box or the text frame. Then we've got the enable for the frame itself. Then we're specifying the font, the vertical position and the horizontal position. We're specifying that we want the line to show. We're specifying the width for the line itself. We're specifying that the line extend is false and the tail is false as well. And then we're just setting the arrows for left and right closed. And then we've got the align dim dot set aligned. And this is the command that we use to actually create the dimension itself. So for this one, I'm just going to go back to the help file, because we've got some really helpful diagrams in the help file that show us exactly what we're doing. So for this method, we actually need to pass 6 values. To start with, we've got the x1 and the y1, which is the start point of the angle essentially. And then we've got the x2 and the y2, which is the end point of the angle. And then the x3 and the y3 is the center point of the dimension itself. So as you can see here, when I've got the set aligned method, I'm starting off at 0, 0, which is bottom left hand side of the assembly. And then I'm going to this.dx and this.dy, so the furthest corner, top corner of the assembly. And then I've just divided that by 2 to find the center. Once I've done that, I do this.addCAD. I select the plane or the axis that I want to add the CAD to, which is something that we set in above. And then I pass my aligned dimension. So let's just go take a look at that one alone. And if I close this down for a second, I'm going to disable the other dimensions for a second, just to leave our one here. So again, we're passing the start point, which is 0, 0 at the bottom left hand side here, the end point, which is the top right hand side of the assembly, and then we're just going right in the center for the dimension itself. The next dimension that we're going to look at is the angular dimension. So with this one, we're actually getting the angle on the bottom left hand corner of the assembly itself. So if I head back into UCS's and just come down here, we should see a new section. So just like before, the first thing that we do is we check if add angular, which is our variable or attribute, is true, and this allows us to toggle this on the left hand side. We then create a new variable, angular dim, and again we use cvsystem.create object, and we've got cv dimension. We check if it's not null in the next section, then we specify all the different properties. And the only difference in syntax is down here what we do is we call a different method setAngular to create the angular dimension. So for each dimension type there's a slightly different method depending obviously on the dimension type that we're choosing. So again, I'm going to open up the help file and we've got our setAngular method here. So the first thing that we pass on this, because I'm working on the bottom left hand side of the assembly, is I'm passing 0, 0 to give my first point here. And then I've got 0 again in the X and this.dy in the Y for the second point. So I'm drawing essentially a line or an imaginary line up at the top here. And then I'm coming all the way down for my X3, Y3 point, which is going to be halfway in between the cabinets. So it's this.dx divided by 2. And then it's 0 in Y, and then I'm going to go 0 in Y again and this.dx divided by 2 for the second point here. Again, we do this.addCAD and we pass the plane or axis, and then we pass the particular dimension that we're adding in. This one's going to be really useful if you're working with vaulted or sloping assemblies. So I think I'll probably build this into our assembly shaping options as a practical example. The next option that we've got is for an internal dimension, and this one's going to be really useful essentially for measuring internal sizes of the assembly. I've got this working with the first case opening in the assembly just to give us the overall internal size. And again, you'll see that we've got a check to start us off with, and again this allows us to toggle this on or off on the left hand side. We then create a new variable, internal dimension. We're using cvsystem.create object, and again we've got cv dimension. We're checking it's not null. We're specifying the properties. And again, these are going to be very similar to what we've got set up here. And the difference again is down here, we're calling a slightly different method, setInternal. And again, I'm just going to switch over to the help file. So for this one, we're passing 6 values. So the first thing that we're going to do is pass the 0 start point, x1 and y1. We then pass the end of the dimension, x2 and y2, and then we've got the center point of the dimension, or where we actually want the dimension itself. So for me, I'm doing this.evaluate and I'm picking up the case opening x. I'm using this.dy divided by 3 for the height or the y position. For the end position, I've got the x position of the case opening plus the dx of the case opening. And again, I'm maintaining the same value in y. And then for the position of the dimension itself, I'm just doing that in the center of the assembly. So I'm doing this.dx divided by 2. And again, I've got this.dy divided by 3. And I'll just minimize this down to show you what that one looks like. So as you can see, the internal dimension goes from the case opening size rather than the external of the assembly. We're measuring the internal size. So back into our UCS for our last one, which is the radius, I think, that we've got up here on the right hand side. So again, we start off with a quick check of our attribute to allow us to toggle this. We then create our new variable raddim, and again we use the cv dimension. We set all the different properties of the dimension just in this section here. And down at the bottom, we do raddim.setRadius. So again, we call in a specific method for the specific dimension type that we're adding. And again, I'm going to head over to the help file to help me explain this one. So the option set radius, we firstly start off with the X1 and Y1. And this is the circle center, if you like. So for me, I'm applying a 24-inch radius to the outside edge of the assembly. So I do this.dx minus 24 and this.dy minus 24 to start me off. I then go all the way to the outside of the assembly, so I do this.dx and I then do this.dy minus 24 for my second point here, x2 and y2. And then the third points, x3 and y3, control the actual dimension of the cell. So if I just offset this by 10 rather than 7.03. The last thing that we do is this.addCAD, and we again pass the plane and pass the dimension. And let's take a look at how this looks. And you can see in here, now I've offset that with x3 and y3, it looks a little bit better. But you can see we've got our radius in there, and as you'll see, we've got a radius of 24 inches on the corner of the assembly. Now, there is one last option that we've got when we're creating dimensions in JavaScript, and I'll just go over to the help file for this one. And this is set diameter. I've not included this in the current example when we're specifying dimensions for the assembly, but we will be taking a look at this one when we come to add some CAD to part level, because we'll be setting things like the diameter of drilling operations. Again, be sure to check out the help file. It's really useful. It takes you through all the different properties that you can set for each one of the dimension types. And it really is a godsend when we're doing something like this, probably for the first time. I will also make sure by the time you're watching this episode that the examples that we've gone through on the Nexus community, I've included a resource section at the top of each section of the videos that we've got, so be sure to check there or under the episode, depending on which episode you're watching. Hopefully you found this episode useful. Feel free to give us a like, share and subscribe. We're also on Facebook, that's facebook.com/thecabinetvisionguy, and Instagram too, that's instagram.com/thecabinetvisionguy. Cheers!